Okay, so Ernest, what variety am I looking at now?
So you are looking at exotic variety, which is lollo rossa.
Lollo rossa.
Lollo rossa,
Okay.
yeah. It's have this ruby reddish color, and I must say this is a bit new to a lot of people.
Okay.
And I hope that when it comes, you go and taste it and to feel how sweetness, crunchiness, and a different taste. Let me put it that way. Yeah, get a different taste of this lollo rossa. It's really nice. It adds color to your salad.
True. So is this ready for harvest?
No, please. It's just left with just some few days, and then we'll harvest it.
Okay, that's nice. And then I see we have a different variety.
Yes.
This looks greener than what I see here.
Yeah. So this is also called batavia.
Batavia. Okay, I think batavia. I saw that on your website.
Yeah, and it's also crunchy. Have tastes sort of like groundnuts.
Wow.
Yeah, it's really sweet.
Wow. Imagine growing lettuce with no soil, or any other vegetable with no soil. Just water, right? No sunlight, and then in a pesticide-free environment, and then imagine this too, in a small space. Is that possible? I'm right here in Farm Estates, and that is what they do, hydroponics farming. If you would be interested in doing something in agribusiness, this is an option. Stay tuned and find out more in this video. If you are new to this channel, do well to subscribe and also turn on your notification post for other videos. And also don't forget to share our video online and then follow us on our socials. So hello Ernest, once again, welcome to our channel. Can you please introduce yourself to our viewers?
Thank you so much. My name is Ernest Lamy, and I'm the CEO for Farm Estates Limited. CEO and co-founder, sorry.
Okay, for Farm Estates.
For Farm Estates.
Farm Estates, Farm Estates, Farm Estates. We are excited to know more about Farm Estates. Can you tell us what birthed this idea?
What birthed? Wow. Okay, so the whole thing started 2001.
Okay.
I was working with the multimedia group, and I had the opportunity to work on a documentary titled Poison on the Menu. And after the documentary, consuming salad became a problem for me because of getting to know how the farmers are applying pesticides and the kind of processes they are supposed to take in order to harvest, to bring the product to the market. They are not doing, they are not following the proper things to do.
Okay.
And after the documentary, they tested some of the products from KNUST and other labs and found that there was so much concentration of pesticides and also certain organisms within the salad, and that made me to think, okay, what can I do about it? But fortunate for me, I had brothers. I'm also an engineer, so I had a brother who is into electrical, other one who is into software engineering. So we came together. We've been working on projects for universities, and we were like, okay, what can we do to solve this problem? And we had an opportunity to attend a program at IFA International at the day they were launching their program in Accra. And when we attended the program, we got to know there was so much opportunity and so much there is so much opportunity in the agri value chain, which if anybody who has engineering background can find the problems and find a solution to it. So we came together and then we asked ourselves, what can we do? And then we went out there, did a market research, and then we saw there was so much problems that in the agri field, and we asked ourselves, okay, so there's pest issues, there's irrigation issues and stuff. What can we also do? And as a team, after just discussing and getting to know that yes, we can build a technology, we don't have any idea about plants. So we went out there to look for somebody who had knowledge in the horticulture field, and the person came in and then helped us, and together this thing came on. And I must say that KIC also helped us, funded us, and this is where we are now. So like I was saying, Cosmos Innovation Center funded us, and that gave birth to Farmers Limited.
Okay.
And we are we are an agri-tech startup, and we are into indoor vertical hydroponics farming. And we use this technology to make sure that we are able to get a good yield, and also make sure that all problems that plants are having, we are able to solve them to get a good yield.
Okay, that's great. So you mentioned indoor hydroponics farming. Can you break that down to the minimum for my viewers to get, when you say hydroponics and vertical, all those things, what does it mean?
So indoor hydroponic farming is just a fancy word. So when we say hydroponics, it means that being able to use water to cultivate something,
Okay.
water and nutrients.
Okay.
And the indoor is to facilitate to be able to control the environment and climate. You know, every plant that you see adapts to certain climates. Yeah, so these are all exotic varieties of lettuce that we have here, which normally shouldn't grow in this part of the country. But because of we are indoor and we are controlling the climates, we've been able to grow them here.
Okay, so Ernest, you mentioned using water and nutrients. Are those the only means of hydroponic farming? Do you have any other media you grow with hydroponics?
Okay, with hydroponics, you can also use other mediums like substrates to also grow. But with our way, we are not using any substrates. We are just using water and nutrients.
Okay.
And substrates, we have different types. It could be either a coconut fiber.
Cocoa peats?
Cocoa peats, correct.
Okay.
Or maybe plants, a tree that has been chopped down into a very small level that you can use to also do your planting as well.
Okay, but in your case, it's strictly water and
strictly water and nutrients, yeah.
All right, you mentioned vertical. How does that planning?
So because we want to bring urban farming, looking at how space is very scarce in Accra, we thought of, okay, how can we grow more in terms of be able to supply the market.
Okay.
So we thought it wise to rather grow upwards. So we have a system that we call rag. That's what you can see behind me.
Okay.
And this rag allows us to be able to grow in different stages, which then it's called a vertical because we are growing upwards.
Okay.
So this allows us to be able to grow to any height that we want, depending on the building heights. I mean, depending on where you want to get to. So the sky is the limit. The sky is the limit. And in here, you can see we have 5 vertical racks here, and all these rows have plants in there, and so it allows us to be able to harvest more in terms of production.
Okay, so this setup is good. You've touched on it. I mean, you mentioned Cosmos Innovation Center supported you with some funds. What goes into the setup of this kind of space? So
to have here, you need to first get a facility. You have to get a building, or let's say a container, a well-tight, sealed place. Because of pest issues, we don't want pests to enter into the farm. You need to get a place that is well-tight so that pests will not enter. And then after that, you need to also get your racks to be locally manufactured for you, or if you have money, you can also import the rack in the metal forms. And then you also need a technology in a way of sensors, and then software, and then some electrical equipment like fans and air conditioning for the climate control. You use fans, air conditioning, all in this space? Yes, we use fans and air conditioning in order for us to be able to get the climate that it's suitable for the plants. Okay, it's a controlled environment, so you need that. Then the capital, it will be capital intensive, right? Yes, it is. Yes, it is. It is capital intensive. But you talked about trying to draw the youth into this. How easy is it then if it is capital intensive? Well, one of the things that we got to know in our research was the banks are the banks are willing, they would like to give money to people to go into farming, but because of the issues that the traditional farming comes with, for example, it's like pest issue, climate issues and stuff. The banks are not willing to give the money, but if they see that you have something that you can control your yield and control all these mechanisms that are making you to not get a better yield, then they won't give you the money. But after talking to the banks, they said, okay, if we are able to put up such a structure, then they will look at how they'll be able to disperse money to maybe 2 or 3 people who comes together to have, let's say, a 40-footer container that can perhaps gives you 4,000 plus heads of plants.
Okay, so with what you are telling me, it means that you are able to say that, okay, spending this amount, or I'm putting this ABC items, that makes up 100%, and then I know at the end of the day I am guaranteed maybe 80% or 90% yield from what I'm putting in there.
Yes.
You are able to tell that with
you
this
are able
setup.
to tell because since everything is being controlled, including the climate, the water, nutrients, the pH, and other factors, all factors that the plants need in order to grow, because all those things are being taken care of, it means that you are almost 100%, let me put it that way, to get the yield that you are aiming for.
Wow.
Yeah.
What kind of vegetables or plants do well in this kind of setup?
So with this setup, you can do leafy greens. For example, you can do herbs.
Okay.
Herbs like coriander, mint. You can also do lettuce, which is foreign varieties or local varieties. You can also do fruity vegetables like tomatoes, bell pepper. You can also do something like strawberry as well. Wow. Yeah.
That's good. That's good. I mean, we like our vegetables, and then for this one, I know what is going in there, and it's guaranteed what I'm going to get in return, the kind of nutrients and everything. Okay. Okay. So, Ernest, let me take you back a little. You mentioned software. How does that play out in all of this?
So, because we want to minimize human error, further down, we decided to use or build our own AI system in order to collect data, and then the data will be analyzed, and then that data that is analyzed, the system automatically uses that to adjust whatever in the farm. Yeah, so that is why we went for the software.
Okay, so what role does it play, like in the setup that we are in now? What role does that play?
Okay, so as I said earlier, it collects data from all the sensors that we have in this room, in terms of humidity, in terms of temperature, in terms of nutrients, in terms of fertigation tank. So we have a motor, it controls it, it's supply water to all the plants automatically. And then if the nutrients within the water has been taken by the plants, the system automatically gets to know. Then it knows that, okay, I'm supposed to add, let's say, 1/4 of this X amount of nutrients to the water. Then it will mix it, then flush it through the entire system. So that is what it does. The AI system is also able to control the light, as you are seeing here. During the day, it checks the temperature within the room, and then it knows the amount of light it's supposed to give to the plants. If, let's say, this place is very warm, it knows that I'm supposed to tone down the light a bit. If the day is a bit cold, it knows that I have to increase the light brightness so that the plants can pick the nutrients very quickly. Okay, so in that case, you have minimum human involvement there. Correct. So you have a system where whilst it's doing that, you're able to monitor even when you are not here. Yes. So we have a dashboard. So all the data that is being collected is also being broadcast live. And we can see the values of each component. So about the temperature, we can see that, okay, so maybe in the last hour, the temperature was, let's say, 24 degrees. And the system so that no, this plant needs, let's say, 30 degrees. So it will either decrease it or increase it.
Okay.
You get that? And if the nutrients are also not much within the water that is passing through under the plant's roots, the sensors pick those data, then automatically it acts on the commands that, okay, the nutrients are not enough for the plants to grow, so I need to add this X amount to it, and then it does it automatically. So we have something that we call, we have this is a fertigation tank, and then as you can see on your left, we have the dorsal pump, which also administer the nutrients into the water for the plants to pick up. And all these things are done automatically without anybody being here.
This sounds really well thought through and then researched. You guys are doing great.
Thank you so much.
So I want us to delve a little deeper. You mentioned the leafy plants and other stuff that you are able to grow in such kind of setup. Now, in farm estate setup, what have you successfully grown?
Okay, so what we have here currently are exotic varieties of lettuce. We have lollo rossa, and then we also have batavia here. That is what we have currently in our facility here. But in the past, we've been able to grow tomatoes, and then sweet pepper, and other plants that I can't remember the name. But we've done experiments on those things, and we are hoping in the future we'll start producing those fruity vegetables as well.
So if I want to grow lettuce, for instance, what process does it go through? Do you nest like we do in open field and green space and all of that? Can you walk us through what's a typical process for a lettuce?
So to be able to do a production like this, a leafy green production, which is lettuce, we acquire our seeds from our suppliers, and then we nest the seeds in the tray. And then we have a sponge that we use in nesting the seeds. The sponge makes sure that it sucks the water so that there will be a water around the seed for it to sprout. When the seed starts sprouting, we wait for 7 days, and then it starts sprouting. We then expose them to light, and then we also expose them to a half nutrient. And then after 21 days, then we transfer them into the NFC tray system here. And then we then give them a full nutrient, and then it just goes in cycle. So the water passes through, and that because by 21 days every seed has germinated and has also gotten a root. So when we transfer them to the NFC, it sucks the water. When the water is passing through, it sucks water, then it also picks nutrients out of it. Then it starts growing.